Now, recently, CIG showed us something in a video, and it kind of got lost in the anniversary sale, and I promised I would circle back to it. And up until now, I haven't done that. But today, we are kind of coming back to that topic, and that topic is that topic is hacking. Now, I've certainly had a lot to say about hacking over the years. As you know, an owner of the Herald since day one, an enthusiastic owner of the Herald, this is a topic that very, very much interests me in the game. And I've had some thoughts, and I've certainly modified my views in certain areas when it comes to crime stat and hacking. And I was thinking about it, and I was going, okay, obviously CIG doesn't want the game to turn into complete chaos. And one of the ways that you do that, of course, is having the high crime stat and, having the ability for players to track you around space. Maybe that's just the reality in high security space, and you just have to deal with it, right? Okay. If that's the way that it is, sometimes you just have to accept the objective conditions of the battlefield that you're on, right? You just go, okay, if that's the way that it is, that's the way that it is. One of the options, though, that I would like to see brought to the game is through hacking. And, back, I believe it was just before the release of 3.12, one of the developers said that we almost put into 3.12, if it was indeed right before that the ability to hack crime stat for other players, it almost made it into the game. And I guess, priority shifted or something changed and they weren't able to do it, or they decided against it. I would like to see that revisited with one other addition. Now, you're probably all thinking, of course, the Herald. He wants the Herald to be able to do this. I would like to modify that request slightly. Yes, indeed, I would like to see the Herald, but obviously I would like to see hacking itself explored a lot more. There are certain changes that I would like to see in terms of where you hack from. I don't think you should have to shoot your way into a bunker or a space station to be able to do it. I think you should be going to remote transmission towers in certain locations where maybe you can't land a ship there because it's too effectively guarded, but you have to land a ship further away and then proceed in on foot to be able to do this. But one of the functions I would like to see added to the game, obviously hacking crime stat for other players. But in addition to that, I would like to be able to post a mission to, let's say, hack my crime stat down from Spectrum. So let's say that I'm at work, I'm about to close up and head home, and we're going to do some kind of op in Star Citizen. I go, oh man, I've got crime stat. I won't be able to do the op. So I can get on my phone, log into Spectrum, boop, 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 boop. I can create a mission, put it out there. And another thing is I would like to see the amount of money that you pay for these missions. I know that Unlimited kind of creates, a field where players could sell in-game currency for real-world money, or RMT. But I would like to see it very high up so that for, let's say, I want it done very, very quickly. Like by the time I get home, I want my crime stat gone. I can add a whole bunch of money onto that mission and basically publish it so that everyone in every region sees it. And they're just like, oh, okay, they're 200,000, 300,000, whatever. Let's go. Let's do this mission. But the fact that players can competitively kind of put their missions out there with higher rewards in order to get it done right away, it once again reinforces the cost of committing a criminal act. And so I think that would make players look at the crimes that they commit in Star Citizen and, not just view them as like, oh yeah, let's just go shoot everything up, but understanding that there is, whether it's the inconvenience of dealing with your own crime stat or the expense of getting rid of that crime stat, it makes players choose their crimes a lot more carefully. It's like, yeah, I could go blow that thing up, but is it going to be worth the crime stat? And would this possibly be much more preferable? And that way, by shaping it through the economy, it's not like you're setting these hard rules that can often be somewhat offensive to players, but you're just kind of like shaping behavior through positive reinforcement in a way. It's just like, this is, like griefing other players. This is going to be quite a hassle. But maybe griefing NPCs is a little bit more sure and a little less of a hassle for players. And let's just be like, yeah, you know what? Let's go get that NPC caterpillar and just steal his cargo anyways. It'll be a lot more profitable and a lot more predictable, and it'll make life easier. And shaping player behavior that way, rather than, just kind of creating these hard and fast rules like you may never attack another player or something like that. Now, who knows? Maybe the Spectrum thing is a little bit too much of an ask at this, at this juncture. CIG, if they were watching this video, they might say, yeah, no, that is definitely a place that we want to go. It's just we're totally not there yet. Cool, that's fine. But what I would definitely like to see is the ability within the same gameplay session to create a service beacon and to, create a mission that says, okay, I need my crime stat hack down. If someone's willing to kind of step up to the plate and do this, maybe I'll even add a little sweetener. Let's say the going rate is, 50,000, but I need it done, toot sweet. I need it done right now. Okay, you know what? We're going to actually push that up to 200,000 credits. Because I think that it definitely, when you think about it, once again, it reinforces the cost of committing the crime. Whether it's the near impossibility of hacking your crime stat yourself, or it is, the expense of getting rid of it. And once again, it reinforces the fact that if you're going to commit a crime, it's got to be worthwhile, right? Like it's got to be paying off enough that you can eat the cost of getting rid of your crime stat should you need to do so. Another element to think about, of course, in massively multiplayer online games is that you want to get people used to the idea of interacting with other players, and this is certainly an area where we can kind of kick that door open. Right now we're used to the idea of players manning our turrets. It's certainly something that is not alien to us, but we know that we're going to be able to do that with NPCs or with server blades, depending on the ship, depending on its limitations. These things are not set in stone yet. But this is kind of one of these permanent systems that we can look at and say, yeah, you know what? Someone can create an alt and they could, I guess, hack down their own crime stat, possibly. But wouldn't it be easier to just have like a few people that as you're playing the game, you get to know who are just good hackers? And you can have them on your friends list and you can say like, oh, XX, space virus XX is online and I need to get my crime stat down right away. Because there's just too many people tracking me in the system, but I want to keep, doing what I'm doing. That's a good thing to have that, like way back in the day, I used to be able to make this engineering motorcycle in WoW, and I got known on the server for being able to do this. And so people would be whispering me all the time. It's like, hey man, if I get you all the parts and the gold, can you put one together for me and I'll give you like a 200 gold tip or something like that. And it was often just like a little bit, but I was more than happy to do it. And because people were like, he's trustworthy, you can kind of give him the components and, he'll build it for you, not steal it or anything like that. That it became like part of that experience and it kind of brought you back into that world, is because your character or you were known in that world for being able to do this thing. And I think that that's an area that I would like to see, kind of built into the game early and for people to get used to. And certainly to really kind of kickstart that hacking community, because this is obviously something that where you can interact with many other players. Even if someone accidentally gains one crime stat and it's just becoming a nightmare for them, they can say, oh, is there any hackers in system? One guy answers, says, yeah, you know what, create a service beacon. I'll fix it for you, no problem. It's just little things like that, and that's how it gets started. And certainly you can become known. And you might say, anybody know any good hackers? And then all of a sudden someone will say, oh, I know this guy. Add him to your friends list. He's online now, and you can jump to his server and he'll do it for you. That sort of thing. It's very important to kind of build those connections and those interactions early into a game. And it's certainly it's a rewarding thing if you're a hacker and all of a sudden you find out that you're known for being a good hacker in Star Citizen. There's a little bit of pride that comes with that. When I was talking about building the motorcycle or something like that, when you get known for things in game, it feels good. It's this intangible thing that you can't attach a dollar value or a number to, but it's really important. When you get there, you realize, and you're like, man, this is a great thing, and you work a little harder to keep that reputation up and maybe to build it up even further. There's a lot of open questions about which way hacking is going to go, but I definitely think the player-to-player interaction element of hacking, whether it's through hacking down crime stats or maybe other things in the future as we explore things, I think that this is definitely, now that we've seen that they're obviously working on the visual end of hacking, this is kind of like the back end stuff that I would like to see them do with it. If the Herald can't be implemented, for a while, or Spectrum can't be implemented for a while, that's cool, but I'd definitely like to see something get in that allows players to interact with other players. I'm fully willing to accept the fact that hacking down my own crime stat is going to be difficult, if not impossible. But I would like to see the facility put in game that allows me to contact another player and just say, hey, can you hack this down for me? I'll throw some space bucks your way. That'd be pretty cool, and that's definitely something that I would like to see brought into the game one way or another. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.